A.W. Tozer says, "What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us." That's from his great book, The Knowledge of the Holy. I remember a couple of years ago having lunch with Gary Breshears, theology professor at Western Seminary, and Bruce Ware, who teaches theology at Southern Seminary. We were there with another friend, and Bruce asked me the question, "Randy, of all books besides the Bible itself, what book has had the greatest influence on your life?" And I said, "That's easy to answer without a doubt. It's A.W. Tozer's book, The Knowledge of the Holy." Bruce Ware looks at me and says, "You're kidding. That is the book that has had the greatest influence on my life." And then Gary Breshears said, "I'm not kidding. That's the #1 book for me." And this is a book that I think people need to read, The Knowledge of the Holy, because Tozer says things like this: the most important thing about any one of us is what we think of God. He says, if you know what a man really believes in his heart that God is like, you will be able to predict with certainty the spiritual future of that man. And of course applies to women and children and all of us. What we think about God determines so much about us. If we get it wrong about God, it doesn't matter in some ways what else we get right. I mean, look at Jesus. Who is Jesus? If you don't believe he is God in human flesh, if you don't believe he's God incarnate, if you don't believe that he could take upon himself the sins of the whole world and be that perfect, sinless, infinitely holy sacrifice on behalf of us, then you can say you believe in Jesus, you can say you believe in God, but in the end, does it really matter? Because is the God you're talking about the real God of the Bible? Is the Jesus you're talking about the real Jesus?